This is Tom Fox, and I'd like to welcome you to the latest addition to the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network, Real Creators of the Texas Hill Country, a podcast where we take a deep dive into the heart of filmmaking in one of America's most unique and captivating landscapes. From rolling hills and rustic towns to thriving cities and hidden gems, the Texas Hill Country offers endless inspiration for filmmakers, and we're here to uncover every aspect. We'll meet the passionate directors, cinematographers, screenwriters, and crews who bring their creative visions to life in this storied region. Join us as we explore the challenges, rewards, and unique stories that make filmmaking here an art of its own. Whether you're a seasoned pro or simply curious about the world behind the camera, Real Creators of the Texas Hill Country promises to be your all-access pass to vibrant filmmaking in the Texas Hill Country and beyond. This is the inaugural episode of Season 2, and I have an inspiring story of a San Antonio filmmaker, Marcus Davilla, who's a San Antonio native, enlisted and served in the U.S. Navy, and now is a professional independent filmmaker. He talks about his journey and giving back to the community through filmmaking. I know you'll love it. Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox back for another episode. And I'm absolutely thrilled today to have Marcus Davilla with me. Marcus, first of all, welcome and thank you so much for taking the time to visit with me today.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure to be here, Tom. I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity. And thank you to Mr. CJ Goodwin for getting me in contact with you. Y'all have a great show.
Thanks so much. So first of all, I have to acknowledge you're a Navy vet. I'm a Navy brat. So all right. I always notice those sorts of things. So why don't you tell us about your journey from the U.S. Navy to film production, Marcus?
Absolutely. My journey started, honestly, when 9/11 happened. I had already graduated from high school. I spent 3 years in high school and graduated a year early. And after 9/11 happened, I had just been, hanging around the house. I had a cousin that was a professional boxer, and I just kind of be part of his little entourage, going places. But I was 17. You can't really do much, at 17. And here in San Antonio, my parents took care of me very good, and I felt that I had something inside to give my country after 9/11 happened. And I went and did some research on the different services. The Navy, I felt, was the best for me. I wanted to travel. I wanted to get out and get around more. And I've always been a, lover of the oceans and waters. And I felt like that was the best for me. And I just took my ASVAB, got a good score, went through MEPS. They offered me a position. Well, they opened the book for me. They let me choose pretty much my job. And the two best ones that were there were a nuclear technician, and came with a real good sign-on bonus, and then a cryptologic technician. Both of them had top secret clearances. One of them was 2 extra years of school, and one of them was 1 year of school. And I felt like after graduating high school early, I didn't want to go and sit in school for another 2 years. So the nuclear technician, we kind of bombed that out. And I went to Pensacola for cryptologic school, and then went to San Diego to join the fleet after.
So, tell us about how that led to your journey to founding Lines Act Production.
Sure. Well, I'm the co-founder. My wife is the president. And when I came back to San Antonio, I've been working a few different job positions, from landscaping to painting to flooring. I really enjoyed working with my hands and being outside, but I never felt like I had found my niche. So there was always something wanting, at the end of the day. And I didn't feel complete. I'd go and I'd work for these companies, and I'd learn what I could. And then a few months later, a year later, then I'd be let go, because work got slow, because this, that, or the other. And I tried car selling. I tried insurance sales. I tried a bunch of different stuff. And ultimately, maybe 8 to 10 years later, I became a handyman, self-employed. And I had enough contacts that I was able to provide, a good living for myself. And then COVID happened. So I was living in Lake Hills, about 30 minutes away from San Antonio, on acreage. And when we were shut down, my business just completely went under. And fortunately, during that time, I met my wife, with current wife, Sabrina Trevino, and she was attending the Los Angeles Film School online. The Luckily the school kept going, and she was doing the online classes. And as we got to talk and date more, and then moved in together, she was teaching me about film. I'd always enjoyed film. I felt like being able to immerse yourself in that world of entertainment was something that I had wanted to do but never really had the opportunity to do. And she offered me the knowledge to be able to begin my film career. And after she graduated from school, we decided to open our business, Lions Act Productions. And we began with initially the goal was to create the best films we possibly could for features, so that we can share them, to the public. So after COVID ended and everything opened up, we moved back to San Antonio and began creating films. We created some short films, and now I have two feature films that I'm currently working on, two projects, one that I'm nearing completion and one that we just began. And we're really excited about our future as film producers. We have a lot of support behind us, and we really enjoy bringing new actors into the acting game. We have a lot of friends, family that are interested in acting, as well as people that we just get a chance to meet. And so we share our knowledge with them. If they're interested in working behind the scenes or in front of the camera, we give them acting classes, and we try to do our best to share our knowledge with other people, and help bring them into the entertainment industry at any rate that we can.
Marcus, I have several podcasts that generally deal with the topic of creativity. So I
Sure.
have an artist podcast, I have an author's podcast, and as you know, I have a film podcast.
Yep.
And I started off with a series with CJ. And from one of the things I learned from that podcast is filmmakers are as creative as artists or authors. And you generally have a vision and you seek to put that vision on film. If that's a fair characterization of you, where does your vision come from? Does it just pop in your head? Do you see things? Are you talking about life experiences? What sort of fires your creative juices?
So, if I were to describe it, I would say that during my lifetime, my experiences have given me multiple colors that I use in my palette when I hit an artboard, when I hit that easel. Some of the stuff that I've been through, I lived in San Antonio, and my summers I would spend them in Monterrey, Mexico, as a young teen growing up, to spend time with my grandfather. He lived over there, and it was a very different lifestyle. What the Mexicans lived over there, there was a lot of cinder block houses, dirt floors, and I have a lot of great memories over there. But seeing the poverty that these families and children would live in affected me, to the point where I felt like one day I wanted to be able to shine my type of a light on that sort of effect. And so I chose the film The American Coyote, and it's about a young Mexican who loses his parents to cartel violence, and he gets trafficked to the United States and separated and has to work for the cartel. He has no chance at leaving the cartel, and so his only chance for survival is to continue following these people's orders. And he grows up and becomes a human trafficker himself. So, kind of the thing that he hated, he had to become to live. And this is something that people are unfortunately going through right now. And human trafficking is such a big enterprise around the world that it's happening with all different types of races. And for me, I felt seeing why people would come from other countries into the United States gave me a few of the colors that I used to create this story. But wanting to tell the perspective of a trafficker, and the moral dilemmas that he's going through, because he's doing things to people that he doesn't necessarily agree with, but the options are super limited, and he's just trying to live day by day with multiple factors, trying to make sure that he doesn't survive. So that's a little bit of how I create. I like to bring an authentic type of film to the people, So I feel like my life experiences offer me the the colors that I create in my art, my artistic form. Another feature I'm working on currently is of the Vaqueros of Hawaii. And this is a story about the Mexican cowboys that were transported to Hawaii to teach the Hawaiians how to control cattle in the 1800s. This is a historical drama based on a true story, and I feel very strongly about telling stories that are authentic to people that may or may not resonate, but I feel people have lived these stories, and so hopefully they'll be able to understand the concepts of what we're trying to pass and share through these films. But I feel like life experiences are really what provides the backbone and backdrop for me to create my art. I'm a writer director, and I'm super imaginative. I'd like to think, and getting a chance to write is beautiful and amazing because there's no budget. You don't have to worry about, hey, location management. You don't have to worry about cast, crew. You let it flow. And I will accompany novels with my films, so people will get a chance to see the extended version, the full concept that I like to share. And then naturally budget constraints come in, and we do what we can with the film. But I feel like being an avid book reader has helped me in my film creation and ideas, to where I can conceptualize something and visualize it, and connect the dots and bring something that's unique in perspective, perhaps, to the world.
Marcus, what's the role of your wife in Lions Act Productions?
She's the president of Lions Act Productions, and she's our number one DP, director of photography. So I'll film. I'm the backup. She taught me, but she's she's much better at it. She went through the full school, so you can only be so good. And she's one of the best. She went through the schooling, and she's taught me, and I'm learning. I enjoy learning. So for me, being on YouTube, learning other techniques, seeing how other cameramen work, this is an ongoing process. But I don't feel like I'll ever catch up to her level. She's definitely really talented and gifted in that aspect, as well as writing and directing. We both write and direct our own features.
Marcus, let me go back to something you talked about earlier in the podcast, which is your community. I'm going to call it community outreach, but you
Sure.
talked about the working with others in the greater San Antonio community who might want to get into the entertainment space, who may be interested in acting in some of your productions, or just want to explore their own creativity. Could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes, I feel that everybody should have at least the opportunity to join the film industry in some point or effect, whether it's promotion, because we all enjoy watching films. I feel. I mean, I know my friends and family, they have all wanted to have a part. We all want to have that starring role. And some people, they may have it in them. You just have to give them the opportunity. So for us, it's about letting people know, hey, we're open for business. Come on, come talk to us. Shoot me an idea. Tell me, what you want to do. If you want to play a tree in one of our films, then we'll decorate you as a tree, and we'll make you the best looking tree ever. Just make sure to stay still. But if you have other aspirations, I feel like somebody that's blessed enough to be able to provide those and make those happen, just like my wife did for me. She's never kept the book closed on teaching me about any aspect about film. And now at this point, I've directed some shorts. I've worked as a gaffer. I've worked boom operator. I've worked so many different parts of the film industry, and that has allowed me the opportunity to teach others. And for me, that's something that I appreciate that she's done with me, and I like to do it to the next generation. Knowledge is something I love sharing with people, and film is an opportunity for us to share an aspect that isn't necessarily part of their life, but can be if they want it to be. San Antonio is a growing city, and we have a lot of films coming over here. And 1923 just filmed over here a couple months ago, and we have some features getting done here locally that I feel are it's our chance to bring our city and people locally that are interested into the mix and give them a chance that hasn't necessarily been there before. And it's a very profitable industry if you continue in it. So you can be a background extra making $200 to $300 a day, and you don't have to, go and work as hard as some of the other jobs that people do. So you work your way up, and who knows, maybe you become a director, maybe you become a film producer one day. There's so many different opportunities in film. I just want to show people the list and let them, hey, take a look, come on, join us on this expedition. And if you've ever had an itch, to become an actor, hey, we'll do some classes, we'll meet, let's talk, let me show you some blocking techniques, let me show you how not to look at the camera. I just really like helping make people's dreams come true.
So let me ask you to look perhaps down the road a little bit, and where do you hope to take Lions Act production, or maybe share with our listeners some of the things that you have planned?
Sure. We're really proud to be an independent film producer currently. And what the next step for us would be is to work with SAG actors and on a SAG project. God willing, that will happen later this year, and if not, 2026. But for us, I want to create films that are impactful, that the generations after us will be able to see and enjoy and appreciate. And for us, growing it's coming. We have a lot of support behind us, so it's more or less inevitable with Lions Act Productions to get bigger and better, thankfully. And we're just excited. I have an agent in Athens, Greece. His name is Thanasis Silopoulos, and he works for Inorama Talent Agency. And Sabrina and I are both signed agents, and we're excited because we have international media distribution. With that, Tom, it's kind of half of the gig with films. If you have somebody that's willing to back you and open these theaters for you, it's your job to get them in the seats. So you have to create something that's polished, prepared, and compelling so that people will be interested in doing that. And for us, it's about creating the best films that we can, because we know people are supporting us, people are waiting on us, and people are ready to go and see our films. We're really blessed in that effect, and I feel like for us, it's just taking it to the next level. Having a national, you know, distributor that's part of a major studio. That would be the goal in a few years, so that we can let the talent that we choose come to the film versus the talent that we can afford come to the film. And that would be ideal, just being able to pay everybody for the jobs and the work that they do. We have a lot of people that they'll donate their time, and I feel like it's a great investment that they make for us. But I love to be able to have the money to pay everybody for all the help that they do, and that'll come later in time. And they understand that, and that's what we try to do is build up to the next level so we can take care of our people and bring them up as well financially.
Marcus, we're getting near the end of our time together, but I always ask veterans this question, which is, what did you learn in the U.S. Navy that you've been able to bring forward to your business career today?
The first thing that I would say is unity. When you go through boot camp, you realize how much you need your team, and how much you're not going to be able to go through life by yourself and reap the benefits and goals that you really want to. Being able to unite people of all different races, creeds, is something that I appreciate that the Navy taught me. Being able to form a team and work towards a goal is definitely one of my, I would say, best attributes, because sometimes I have 25, 50 people that are looking up to me, and everybody wants to know what they can do to be perfect for the scene. So I have to talk to them weeks early, days early, sometimes on set. This Sunday, I'll be filming a scene with over 100 people, and all of these people I know personally. So having the ability to bring a group of people together and work towards a singular goal is definitely something that I learned in the military.
Marcus, now we are at the end of our time, but before we leave, I wanted to ask you if our listeners wanted to connect with you, to reach out to you, what would be your preferred platform, social media platforms, and/or the best way to get in touch with you?
Sure. I have an IMDb page under Marcus Davilla. I have an Instagram for our film production company called lionsac.productions for our Instagram. I have a Facebook page as well, Marcus Davilla, and you can contact us through any of those pages. We appreciate the support. My email's available through my IMDb, and contact us through Instagram. Send us a message. We also have lionzacproductions@gmail.com. So just contact us. Let us know your ideas. Let us know how we can support and help you. If you have any questions, we're always available here to help.
Marcus, I wanted to thank you again for taking the time to visit with me, and I hope we can continue this conversation.
Oh, we sure will, Mr. Tom. It was a pleasure, and thank you for the opportunity.
Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox again. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Season 2 of Real Creators of the Texas Hill Country. If you are a filmmaker, an actor, a set designer, or in any way involved in the film industry in the Hill Country, I'd love to talk to you for an episode of this podcast. So shoot me an email at tfox@tfoxlaw.com, or you can connect through the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. The Real Creators of the Texas Hill Country is a production of the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network, the only podcast network in the Texas Hill Country celebrating the life, the styles, the geography, the area, and the people, places, and things that make this the greatest place to live in the great state of Texas.